Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hi everyone, my name's Craig Rispin and welcome to Grow Your Business. Today I'm going to be talking about how to think like a futurist. You know, it's a real job being a futurist, but more on that later. If you'd like to follow along, you can get a copy of my book, How to Think Like a Futurist, on my website. Just click on author. Now I want to take you back to 1999. Yes, it's 1999 all over again. Do you remember the year? Were you there? And this is what the internet looked like. Apple still had their Bondi green colored iMacs that shaped a bit like an egg. Yahoo was booming, the biggest search engine in the world, and Google had just started. And of course, there were millions and millions of websites on GeoCities. Do you remember that? Well, think about it. We still had dial-up modems, but in this year, Steven Spielberg was about to produce a movie. The movie, he had a budget of $100 million, and he had the star, but he didn't have the vision yet. And of course, you're probably guessing that the movie was Minority Report. But if you can just think about where we were in the world in 1999, still most people on dial-up modems, he had to create this vision of what the future would look like. So who did he employ? Well, he employed about a dozen futurists, many of them friends of mine. And he assembled this think tank that he put together, put them in a room to look at what the future might look like in the year 2050. If you'd like to know more about this inside meeting with Steven Spielberg, there's a great article on Wired magazine about this idea summit that he held. He had technological experts and futurists from all over the world consulting with him on what the future would look like. Automated cars, flying machines, all sorts of things. Do you remember the AirTouch computer that Tom Cruise used in the movie? You probably do. Well, if you don't remember it, I'm going to play a little clip for you just to remind you some of the incredible technology that they predicted in this film that eventually came out in 2002. Watch this.
Look at me. Positive for Howard Marks. I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks and Donald Dubin that was to take place today, April 22nd, at 0800 hours and 4 minutes. No.
John, don't run.
Everybody runs, French.
Well, there was lots and lots of technology predicted in this film. I wonder if it was predicted or then it was suggested and engineers went out and actually created it. I've actually found this to be true when I meet with people who are inventing the future and they say, I saw it in the film and then I had to create it. All sorts of things from facial recognition, personalized advertising, gesture-based user interfaces, voice automation, in homes, predictive crime fighting with algorithms and psychics as well, robotic insects, jetpacks, and driverless cars. And if you think about where we are today, a lot of these things have been created by engineers or futurists who thought that this is something that we would like to create, and let's go out and do it. And so we had the engineering team at Harvard invent a tiny little insect robot. Of course, we've seen the rise of autonomous vehicles and jetpacks. I've been waiting for years for my jetpack, or maybe it's a hoverboard, or as this company calls it, the flyboard. Did you see this? Have a look.
I'm Frankie Dapala. Today I will try to break the records for the fastest fly by hoverboard with my flyboard here. I have to fly 280 meters to break the record. It's a jet-powered board with 4 jet engines that I control with my finger. It's cool technology. I'm a little bit stressed. It's a pure prototype. It's just working since about 4 or 5 weeks. I have 1,000 reasons that something can fail.
Well, it seems incredible, doesn't it, that just since 2002, we now have a lot of the things that were predicted in that movie. What insights did these futurists have? What tools did they use to predict the future that we're seeing unfolding in front of us? That's what we're going to be discussing today, what it is to be a futurist, the tools that we use, and maybe you can steal some ideas from us. You know, one of my favorite quotes about the future goes like this, and you may have heard it before. When it comes to the future, there are 3 types of people: those who let it happen, those who make it happen, and those who wonder what happened. Don't wonder what happened. Use these tools that I'm going to share with you. Join our community, share our ideas, and look into the future. So, first of all, what is a futurist? Well, it's a real job, believe it or not, and we're just really reverse historians. Historians study the past, and futurists study the future. You can get a degree in future studies just like you can get a degree as a historian, but a very interesting thing, when you start in future studies, what's the first area that you cover? Of course, history. It's a real job. There are dozens and dozens of people right now signing up for new courses here in Australia, hundreds that have been qualified, and thousands worldwide. You can get a MA, MS, or PhD here in Australia. There are great universities like Singularity University where you can do a graduate degree, and if you're accepted, Google will fund your graduate degree. It doesn't cost you a cent. And of course, there's a worldwide organization that looks over the studies of the future. Great professional associations that you should get involved with. Maybe you're just a futurist in disguise and like to join us at the World Futurist Society. About 20,000 members, about a third of us work in academia and research, about a third work for government and NGOs like the United Nations, and about a third of us work in the commercial world, and that's where I come from. All experts in different areas about the future. So our job is to advise all sorts of organizations, from companies, governments, NGOs, professional organizations, educational institutions, planning bodies, product designers, entrepreneurs, politicians, and people like Steven Spielberg when they're about to create a movie. So there are 9 principles that you should use if you'd like to steal some ideas from us. How could you apply thinking like a futurist to your particular business? Maybe this would give you the edge, maybe
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.